Hello, and welcome to the first ever TB podcast. We are your hosts. I am Tristan. You are muted, Lewis.
Lewis?
I said I'm Lulu.
Oh, we couldn't hear you. Hello, Lewis.
Hello. I am
We couldn't
Lulu.
hear you for some reason.
Oh,
And
God.
Alex, hello. Welcome.
first off, this is the very first ever TB podcast. This is being recorded on stream. And I believe we're also posting this on Spotify and possibly YouTube, maybe, if we can get a video up.
Maybe.
Would be good.
It'll be nice. It'll be nice. As we have no idea what we're doing, so bear with us.
They can probably tell.
But
Go ahead.
no, you go.
I was going to say that maybe we should tell each other and tell people what is TB, because no one's going to know what TB is.
TB.
Go on then, Lou.
What is TB all about, Lewis?
TB is all about having fun playing games, friends and family.
Friends and family.
Racist comments.
Racist comments.
We tried to stay away from that, but yeah. But no, we're just like a small little gaming community, and we play League of Legends mostly on Fridays and Saturday nights. Very sad, but we do play other things. But we do play other things. But but yeah, that's pretty much it. But what we're gonna do today is that we thought we'd just talk about, just for like maybe an hour or so, we'll just talk about some random stuff going on. I believe we got each something to share. So
I've got a few random shizzles in front of me right now.
what? Something morbid.
Something morbid. No, nothing morbid. So, right. CBD, the flower form, has now just been made illegal in France.
What recently?
Oh, really?
Recently, from the 1st of January, CBD, the actual flower, but you can still buy CBD oil and other forms of it, just not the form of flowers.
Well, that's
for people that are smoking.
So they took a step back.
What's the difference?
So they've taken a step back, right? So Tristan, for you who...
What is the difference? Because I wouldn't know.
THC is what gets you high. CBD is what gives you the good side of things for health benefit-wise. Better back, better mindset sort of thing. But they've made it illegal for some reason. They were in a 2-year testing period to see what happens if they let it out into the public, and they have now made it illegal. But you can still buy it.
Because there's been a lot more protests and a lot more. Why would they do that?
So they've made more. They've made more money out of selling it legally, but the government are still against it because it is still classed as a cannabinoid.
Yeah, that's okay. But
Okay. Didn't know that.
so, but they can still sell the oil and.
But you can still go into a vape shop and sell the oil to smoke, which has the exact same effect as if you were smoking the flower form of it,
Yeah, but
which
what,
makes no sense, which is very strange.
what about all those shopkeepers then who have got to suddenly?
They've had to get rid of it all.
What? How?
Well, you take it off the shelves and then
Yeah,
assuming.
obviously.
Surely they were aware this was going to happen. Surely they were told that this is like a 2-year project, and if it doesn't work out, you'll be losing your stock. Surely.
But then it might be like the speed thing all over again. We'll give you a 2-year trial with the 80-kilometer speed trial thing, but they never changed that back.
Knowing.
Has that been 2 years already?
It's been ages. No, it was well before the old COVID strike.
Yeah.
But
I suppose it has been 2 years since COVID already.
there's.
I'm only 5 minutes into a podcast and we're already talking about COVID. Oh my god.
Couldn't get away. No, we're not talking about COVID. That's the whole point. It's January. When's the saddest day in January again? Was it that Monday?
Saddest day.
No. There's a sadder day.
Monday, 'cause you gotta go back to work.
No,
It's
it's a thing. It's a thing. It's like the worst. It's like the saddest day in the year, and it's January Blue. I can't remember what it's called now. I wish they. I'm sure it's next Monday. I'm sure it's next
the
Monday.
shortest day.
No.
Shortest day of the year when you
No.
go to work when it's dark and you come home when it's dark.
No, because it's after all the festivities.
Blue
So
Monday is a name given to the day in January.
Yeah,
typically
because
the third Monday of the month, said by the UK travel company. So it's typically the third Monday of the month.
I'll say just before payday, when probably much they've got no more money because they've been paid early before Christmas. So,
but why?
Tristan, you got a little bit blurry, mate. Shake your head a bit.
Tristan's got a little blurry.
Shake my head.
There we go. But yeah, well, that's interesting, Lewis. So what? So they can't. Are they actually not going to review or appeal, or is anyone else actually kicking up a fuss about it? Or
at the information I have looked at, no one has kicked up about it that much.
No one.
Because people have bought stocks of it in advance.
so what? They're doing a side hustle and they're going to sell it off.
They're doing a side
well,
hustle.
basically,
they have said the culture of it, the importation and the exportation of it is still legal, which makes no sense.
Well, the exportation of it it's not legal. It's still legal. It's still
the culture of it, the growing of it, importation and exportation is still legal, but you're just not allowed to buy it.
So there's still cannabis in the country.
So
obviously,
there's still people like dealing with it, which is really weird. But as you said earlier, they've just taken another step backwards.
Yeah, but it's just okay. I'm sure it will be interesting to see how it pans out with Malta and now Scotland.
It's only a new
thing. Not Scotland. London have started to decriminalise ages of 19 and 24 of possession. So they can get away with it if they have a little bit of marijuana.
Wasn't there the 3-strike system already in place? If you caught with it the first time, it's supposed to slap on the wrist, taken away. Second time, slap on the wrist, same sort of thing. And then after the third time, it's just you've been caught.
How would they know?
The details down and put in a book somewhere.
Just give him a different name.
Give him a different name.
Terry.
I'm Terry.
You're not Terry. I know you. You're down the corner. You're John. Nah, I swear I'm Terry. I'm Terry. I am.
Mate.
Give us ready. I ain't got it on me, mate.
Yeah. Well.
I know some places do have the 3-strike system. That if it's counted as personal amount, not like selling amount sort of thing, you just get a slap on the wrist taken away sort of thing. That's it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I've never heard of it, of that, but well.
So right, as you was on the subject of London,
yeah.
So this is a funny thing that I found in 1975. This is going back a few years. There was a string of crimes, just like normal London crimes, like breaking and entry, stealing things and whatnot. But they kept finding fingerprints over the place in this certain time period. And the police were absolutely baffled. Every time they searched his fingerprints, they could not find anything until they actually came across a message from the zoo saying that a few koalas have escaped the zoo and that koalas' fingerprints are nigh on identical to human fingerprints.
Really?
But where these burglaries were happening in London that weren't too far from the zoo and just a couple of escaped koalas are just exploring, they got themselves mixed in a situation. But what it says on this document I've got in front of me is they weren't found to be guilty of any criminal activity. Talking about these koalas. The koalas are just
they go to court. They go to court. They judge.
It'll be a kangaroo court, wouldn't it?
It's just this slow koala just munching away on its stick or something.
I swear,
I need your fingerprints.
It wasn't me, I swear. I was just minding my own business.
Oh, gee.
And then, so they come from Australia, there's this thing that the police over there keep mixing up koala fingerprints with actual criminal fingerprints as well.
I did not know that at all. I did not know that.
Okay.
But yeah.
I really wish I was there at that court.
That would have been fucking hilarious. Just his koalas just sitting there in little suits and ties.
Four of them.
With a defendant say you have no proof. We've got their fingerprints.
It's even funnier because Lewis is cutting out all the time. Oh yeah, sorry. Lewis has a fucking
Not too bad.
A firestorm over us.
A wee bit of a storm above me at the minute, so my interwebs isn't that good.
It's not, yeah, it usually is. So, but anyways, doesn't matter. At least it's getting better. Maybe
Getting better. But I've got a photo of a human fingerprint and a koala fingerprint in front of me.
Oh,
They're identical, man.
we should post that. Send that to me on Discord. I'll post that later.
So
But-
Tristan.
That's another story.
Sorry,
So there's
we want another story, mate.
Yeah.
So, Tristan,
yes.
on your weekly research, have you come across anything interesting at the minute?
Anything interesting? I have.
Oh,
Oh, there's been like one big story that I've been like, following a little bit.
Is it the new League of Legends champion coming out?
is that Vera? What's her name?
Zeri?
Zeri.
Zeri.
When does she come out?
So, next week
20th.
update, isn't it?
20th.
So,
okay.
have you looked anything into her?
No.
Right, so her auto attack, right click on your mouse, is actually a charged up attack that the more you walk around and shoot with, or your Q, which your Q uses no mana and it refreshes really quick. You can your auto technically is a Q, and your auto on your mouth right click is kind of like an ability. The more you use your Q or run around, you charge up your auto attack, mouse auto attack. He does more damage. It's really weird. I'm watching a few videos. She's going to be horrible to play against.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that would be. Is that so? That's an AD.
Nice.
Some people could relate to that at all. So what was been bothering you then, Tristan?
No, not bothering me. I've got this one story where I've been following for the past 2 weeks or something. You've probably seen this. It's about Elon Musk, obviously, our favorite space engineer.
King Musk.
Space Lord. Mr. Tony Stark himself. He said that by 2024, he'll be sending up 4 spacecraft to Mars. 2 containing cargo and 2 containing humans, because he wants to build the space city, the Mars City.
How long is that going to take to get there?
6 months.
6 months.
Yeah, 6 months.
Apparently.
Not too bad.
Yeah,
So far, but it's still not possible. People still can't get there because of radiation. But he's working on something.
They want to. Oh, sorry, Karen.
I was saying he wants to get it down to 4 months.
Because he's bringing out an actual Iron Man suit.
Because what I
land on Mars with an Iron Man suit.
Yeah. What I saw is that he had a really weird way of creating life on Mars, or even having like an ozone or an atmosphere, would be to detonate nuclear bombs on each pole, and that will create like a nuclear winter or whatnot. I don't know, but science.
That work.
In theory, it's been it's been suggested, but then I'm no scientist, so I don't know. But I can imagine that could work. But if he's saying it, then I'm on board.
If God's saying it, then
if God's saying it, if that speeds up life on Mars, then I'm all for. Because at the moment, with COVID going on, I don't think we're going to be around so long.
Is there going to be some weird creatures that go all around Mars?
Well, like on what was that film over Christmas? Did you ever watch it? Yeah. No. Don't Look Up. Did any of you guys watch that?
Up.
With Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah. Give it a wiggle, Tristan. There you go. Did you watch it?
About Mars Attack.
No, it looks good though. It's got a lot of actors in it. A lot of famous actors.
Well, it's obviously had a huge budget behind it to get Jonah Hill and Leonardo and Jennifer. What's her name?
What's that one from? The one from
Jennifer Lawrence, isn't it?
From what's that, like, Hunger Game film?
Yeah, that's Jennifer Lawrence. Catnip.
Yeah. Catnip. The Hunger Game films. Oh my god.
Yeah, I never got into that Hunger Games series. I watched one.
Ariana Grande's
the first
one.
Oh,
Ariana Grande's in it. Yeah, she's in it.
Really?
Evans is in it. Jonah Hill.
A lot of people are in it, which is good.
Mr. Ron Perlman himself is in it.
So would you say it was a good film?
I would highly recommend it. I watched it twice, and I never watch a film twice in the same week. So there you go.
in the same week.
Yeah.
Did you fall asleep during the first?
Well,
time
I must admit, I wasn't exactly sober when I watched it first. It came out on Christmas, so I was with Graham, and yeah.
that explains it.
Yeah.
Sentence to explain what the film is about.
Oh, so no, I'm not going to explain it because watch it. It's on Netflix. Pay £10 a month or whatnot.
Go on Netflix.
Go on Netflix and watch it, because if you haven't watched it,
Sponsored by Netflix.
Sponsored, not by Netflix.
I'm sure they'll love this. But no, I like the fact that if we're going to talk about Don't Look Up, right? Is this what you were talking about?
All right, he's got some big.
But anyway, if we're going to talk about Don't Look Up, I am actually I like that film because it does wake people up, and it does it puts a huge problem on a plate for us to all watch, and it was a great time. It was a great way to release a message over Christmas. I loved it. No, if honestly, you would know what I'm talking. Like, if you've watched it, you know what I'm talking about. It's I'm not going to spoil it. It's like a scary movie. It's that kind of satire comedy, but I highly recommend.
That's scary.
No. You know, like Scary Movie 1 and 2. You know, all those parodies.
Okay.
So it's kind of that kind of humor. It's very satire, but it does paint a bad picture on the American media and also American politics, which everyone, as being a Brit.
Anyway.
No, I mean, being a Brit, I'm all for trash talking Americans in general. Let's just put it that. Everyone does. It's like the hype. But anyways, yeah. Sorry, that was a bit of a mono rant, but I do recommend it. Watch it on Netflix. It's great. If you haven't watched it, you should watch it.
We'll have to watch that then.
Yeah.
Nothing better than a catastrophe film for Christmas.
But
Like Die Hard all over again. The best Christmas film ever, Die Hard.
I actually have never watched that. Never.
What? You've never Die Hard?
Not even once.
It's still, you can. It's only a few days past Christmas, Alex. You still got time.
I'm not giving in to the hype. You haven't watched Game of Thrones, so why would I watch Die Hard all of a sudden?
Because Die Hard's good.
Yeah, but Game of Thrones was good. It ended terribly.
Was good. Ended like a piece of shit.
Pretty much. But what's the other thing? Oh yeah, so go back to Musk though.
Elon Musk, God himself.
There's such a split community with Musk. Like, either you love him or you hate him. Yeah. I personally, I love the way he's so honest. The fact that he says, he wants to. He's not like you go to like Jeff Bezos or something, and he's all about. He's looking for fame. He wants to send people into the space or whatever, but he says it's for the good of community. Whereas Musk is just like, it's his lifetime project to go to Mars. He wants to die on Mars. He knows, like. Yeah,
I can agree with you.
He's honest. He seems like an honest guy.
Is he going to send a crash test dummy in a Tesla to Mars first?
Why?
He's done that to space, isn't he?
But is he going to send one to Mars as well?
What I love about Musk is that he's also a Safa. So I do admire South Africans. So that's another plus for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, South African. But yeah, no.
You see, he's got an insane backstory, really.
I actually don't know.
From just South African, he's he came from just a normal family, like any of us.
Working in his parents' garage.
He didn't want to do the military service in South Africa, so he moved to Canada. In Canada, I think it's in Canada where he made PayPal with a couple of mates or something, or was it in America when he moved to America? Then ended up just making all these different projects, and then
to make his
SpaceX, and now he's building the tunnels underneath Los Angeles. And going through?
The tunnels where you just sort of like drive into it and just sit back.
Yeah. And it's such a good idea. It's such a good idea to get rid of traffic. It's such a good idea.
Yeah, but one little problem under that, everyone's not going to like it.
Well,
that's like saying there's more crashes with Tesla than anything else, but that's not true.
He's an innovator, mate, because I follow him.
It's going to be like the flying car system all over again. Like, flying cars will probably never exist because if one falls out of the sky, they're all going to get pulled back.
No. Mate, you need to break a few eggs to make an omelette. You know what I mean? So
Just need to get a few people killed off.
but you have to look at the past, mate. Look at every invention or innovation that's happened. There's always been some. You gotta.
Problems.
If you're not error checking, then you're not gonna be able to make a foolproof system. So no one was asking Mr. Tesla. No one was asking. Sorry, not Nikola Tesla. I mean Elon Musk. No one was asking Elon Musk. Let's get some electric cars on the road. No one was asking that. He had to, almost do like an Apple move and force people to like their products.
It's the money. So yes. Not like he has a few dollars to spare.
Because let's be honest. No, I don't know about you in France, but in England, like 4 or 5 years ago, no one had a Tesla, and now everyone's got a Tesla.
Oh yeah,
and it annoys me because it's almost like we're going into this future because there's only one manufacturer going there. We might all be ending up driving the same bloody cars, all looking the same. Because they have the monopoly of the market. No one else has done. It's a lot of research to get in there.
Still got a lot of other electric cars like Hyundai and.
Yeah, but they're hybrid electric. I mean, okay.
They're not cool though, are they?
Tesla's cool.
Hyundai, you see a Hyundai electric car, it's like, what's that toy? When you see a Tesla, it's like, yeah, it's a Tesla.
Was it
That's the future.
Oh, who makes the Leaf? What was the car? The Leaf.
The Leaf.
Yeah, it's a green car. I can't remember what maker it. Who made it?
That's the Kia. Is it Kia? Kia Leaf or?
I can't remember.
I know what you're talking about, or maybe Ford. It might be Ford.
That's all electric and that. But then you put one of those next to a Tesla, and the Tesla got.
The Tesla. Have you been inside a Tesla?
Nice.
Yeah, I sat not had
mate.
Not been driven off in
They are lovely.
Yeah.
Just a little. The only problem I have with it right now, too expensive they are too expensive, and also, what happens when you drive it for 5 or 6 years, and what do you do with it? Like, does the battery run out? What's the battery life? Like, what's the resale value? You know what I mean? Because it's gonna die.
That's just like anything else. You just change it.
What, you just change the battery?
Yeah, it's probably a lot easier to change a battery.
You might as well just throw the car away.
Is it going to be like an iPhone that at first the battery lasts for a while, and then in like a year or so the battery lasts for like 5 minutes? So
just blows up in your hand.
Everyone's just going to be driving around with extension leads everywhere.
But battery technology's gone is a lot better now these days. You've noticed, you can see. Like even like on the, because I think Jack mentioned something about the wireless mouse, and I was like, because when I had one, I had batteries inside it. The AA's.
Yeah.
Now they don't. They're all rechargeable, which I find that.
I've got my battery one somewhere. That lasted weeks without having any problems.
Yeah, but it's like a whole different standard. Like the technology's just jumped ahead so quickly.
Yeah.
It'll be. I'm quite scared to see what happens in 10 years' time. Like, oh.
I do find it funny because do you guys remember the static phone noise when you used to listen to landlines? When
some people's landlines was like really loud and it would destroy your ears.
Oh,
whenever you dial and then you pick it up and it does like a static.
Oh, you mean the internet dial up?
Yeah.
The little people in the office putting all the cables in.
It's like I forget that was our generation. That was 20 years ago. Look where we're at now. It's crazy.
When phones used to cost 20 quid, not a grand.
Yeah, you could buy a brick and it would last forever. And now you buy these pieces of paper that don't last.
It's in 2022 where we can stream.
Phones today when people are queuing up for a week in advance to get a brand new iPhone that's 1,500 quid, and it does exactly the same as another phone.
I'm not one of those people. I think you are one of those people, Lewis.
I've got a reconditioned old one. I'm still on iPhone 7, man.
What? Really?
I spent like 70 euros on my phone.
Oh my god! Wait, what? iPhone 7? Oh my god!
I don't know what. I've got a P20 Huawei. I only recently just upgraded. I bought one.
You're supporting the Chinese spies.
Oh yeah, mate. You know me. I'm in the telecoms, so Huawei's
like you.
I have no idea what this is.
What the hell is that? It looks like a power bank.
It's a
I don't know what it is.
He presses buttons and it's like the little children's phone where it pretends like someone's talking back to you.
That's so funny.
Turns it around and it's got the little bubble game where you press the buttons and you got
I miss Snake.
Apparently, there's
I suppose
That
you
was a
can
good
download it. I suppose but there must be an app for that.
for what?
the
Sorry.
original Snake.
The Snake.
Oh wow, there's I've just got a news report here from Pakistan. 22 dead as heavy snow trapped vehicles in Pakistan.
Incoming news report.
Incoming news report.
Wait,
Someone,
Pakistan have snow?
yeah, they've just got
In
a.
the north,
they-
in the north
yeah,
of Pakistan? Is it the north of
yeah,
Pakistan? where there's
the
weird
north.
mountains?
The Pakistan isn't like it's north of India. It's,
Not blowing over as if it was like a, I feel bad for those 22 people that have died. Sad times.
it's
Do you really, Tristan? Do you really? That's really convincing.
No, I kind of just like blew past it, but no, yeah, it's sad times.
mate. Don't be a dick. Literally,
There's
a lot of.
How did they die?
Do you want me to read this news report out? Is that what you're asking?
Where are you getting this from? anyway?
Well, I can't tell you where I'm getting this info from. Someone just sent it in. That's why.
So
Someone
I've
sent it
just
on
got
the
news
on the
report.
stream.
I've just got a stream sent in to me. Someone sent me something.
What?
The tennis superstar Novak Djokovic
Oh,
Yeah.
there's a
went
snowstorm.
to a event that was full of young pro tennis players, hugged all of them the day after he tested positive for COVID.
Wait, Novak's got what? Has he got
Djokovic
COVID?
has got COVID, and also with a positive test, he went to an
Ashan-
event and hugged a load of children.
Oh,
That's a bit of a bumhole move, that is.
Isn't he German?
Is he German?
no, he's from Serbia.
Oh, that's all right then. Never know. Play Germans.
Could he become accountable for any problems after that? If, for example, the children take it home to their grandmother or something? And if it happens, although Djokovic knew he was positive and done
He knew he was positive.
it says right in front of me.
What? So he already.
Which is-
So this.
Djokovic hugged kids at event day after alleged positive COVID PCR test.
Yeah, because he was causing a right storm at Australia borders, trying to say that he was exempt from getting the vaccine and he's still going to play. And obviously, Australia had really strict borders, and they're having none of it.
If you're famous or not, you shouldn't be exempt from anything.
Yeah, but okay. Now we're touching a subject here, mate. It's do you do you force the whole population to get a vaccine and then because you say you're not forcing them, but you are because you're making their life very difficult if you're not.
I just say let's get on with it. The weak ones leave us.
Well, it's no. Well, I mean, all these people who do pass away, unfortunately, they have got underlying conditions. Although I do know someone who, my hairdresser's uncle, actually just got it and died, but had nothing. Not like he was fit as a fiddle. In his 50s though.
No problem. No health problems or anything.
No, he died.
He
I
probably
think
did have something.
maybe that's the thing that you never know
You don't
because it could be
die
under.
from COVID.
Yeah, well, again, I don't really want to touch about this subject because it's quite everyone's a bit divided on it, and I don't want to cause a divide because we don't need any of that.
Here's a funny, not funny, but it's quite interesting news.
Go on.
An 11-year-old boy from Oklahoma is being honored for his heroism after he saved a choking classmate and rescued a woman from a house fire in one day. And he said a human. And rescued a woman from a house fire in one day. Imagine being that guy. Saving a child from choking and saving a woman from a burning house.
In the same like instance.
Do you think he's in the same instance? Nah, I doubt she was.
Like in the same scene? I'm just saying in this.
No.
All in one go.
Do you think he started the fire and choked his?
Oh wait, you
classmate?
think?
What, just to get some quick fame out there? I'm just
Yeah.
going to start a fire.
Nah.
and go
People aren't listening to me. I need to get out there.
Maybe.
What can I do?
What can I do? I'm just going to go set
I have
this
a lighter.
house on fire and drag her out.
Lewis, I got something for you, mate. And this is going to tie in with what I want to share. So, all right. How am I going to word this?
Is this a Lewis Raymond question moment?
No, it's not. It's not. I promise. It's very basically, Lewis, because you're the most. I know you very well, and you're quite
extravagant.
I'll let you answer. And no, but you've got like a certain point of view with like Satanism and satanic.
Yeah.
You worship the devil. Right?
You worship the devil.
You're devil's worshippers, right?
I don't have shit in my heart with that.
But anyways, so what I want to talk about is: do you believe in ghosts or religion? Not religion, but like entities, evil, demons, anything like all of that realm.
I wouldn't go to the point that I believe in all of it, but it's one of those things that if I see it, I believe it. Where I have heard and seen things and had things happen around me.
Yeah.
That other people have been in a few moments with me when stuff has happened, but you can still put it down to logical reasons like heavy winds outside. Most places where it's happened has always been in old French houses, farmhouses, and that. So it could always still be a logical reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, as I said, it's just one of those things. I'll believe it when I see it, sort of thing.
So you've not had any experiences yet,
No, I've had a couple of
but
experiences.
you've managed to debunk them, or
You don't believe in it yet.
One of them I haven't.
okay.
Or two of them I haven't, but one of them happened when I was a baby, and it was just stories from my granddad and my mum and dad when I was a baby.
What was it?
So the house that we used to live in when I was born, my parents used to live in my nan and granddad's house, which is down in the south of England, and it was an old house as it was. And every night my granddad used to come home from work, he would walk in the front door and he would say, just out loud, I'm putting my keys here, and put them on the table next to the front door every night where he put them when he got home from work. Every morning, they always disappeared because of the story of the little ghost child that was running around the house. That apparently my granddad said that it was her that used to hide the keys in different places, like it would be in his coat pocket rather than being on the table, or it would be in one of the drawers. It would always be near the front door. But everyone that used to live in the house, as my nan, mum and dad, I'd say I was a newborn, so there's no way I could have done it. And everyone is still now, still to this day, everyone has always said that it was not them that had moved the keys. And one day, my mum found me in my little rocking thing in the bottom of a cupboard when she didn't leave. She left me in the living room just to go and grab a cup of tea, and she came back and I was in a cupboard. And she was home alone, well, not home alone with me, but I was in a cupboard when she left me in the living room.
So she left.
My mum left me just
Was she drinking?
just in. No, she was in the morning.
What?
And then later on, our house was turned, when we moved out of it, it was my granddad turned it into a retirement home.
Okay.
And my mum started working there years later on, which was a bit weird because it used to be our home, and now my mum started working there. She was getting one of the elderly ladies ready for bed one night. So she had washed her, put her into a nightingale, and was just putting talcum powder on her feet because of just elderly people and different various problems who can have. And there was a bit of talcum powder on the floor. So my mum went out to the cleaning room just to go and get a dustpan and brush. And when she came in, the elderly lady was giggling, and there was children's footprints in the talcum powder on the floor.
Really?
Yep. And this is
Really?
the house that we used to live in. It was turned into a retirement home,
Wow.
which is really weird.
But you never saw that. That was just a story that you heard.
I was a newborn. I heard this from my grandparents and my parents.
Well, that probably explains why. So, I'm on the same. So I'm on the same similar belief as you, Lewis. I believe there's good and
Something
evil.
out there.
There's a different dimension that we cannot comprehend, and we're not ready to, or something. I don't know. Maybe I think there's a different way to connect to it, or I don't know, because I've
Or
had.
it's just people like me that have passed on and just gone, fuck it, I'm just going to have a few years of fucking with people.
Well, I don't even know if it's that, mate. I don't know what it is. I think it's energy more than anything. I think the spirit.
Energy, yeah.
There's energy
There must be something. Because there's so many different stories.
Mm.
Like, I've got a story from my granddad, he's a builder. and every night, I think I've already told these guys this, but I'll say it again. And living in Canterbury, every night he'd come back from where he used to work, and he'd travel back from the pub. He wasted. No, he'd come back from where he'd work, and every night he'd come back and he'd go down this lane that goes past an old women's prison. This was an old women's prison back in the days they used to do hangings and stuff, so a lot of women would hang there. And
Witches
probably. And he went back one night. Twice he had a horror story, a ghost story on this one same road.
So what, someone just came up and told him a ghost story?
Yeah. The first time, in the middle of the night, and there was this lady on the road, a young girl, and she was, asking for a lift. He said, he agreed and put her, let her in the car, drove for another 5 minutes, turned around, and she wasn't there anymore.
The Bluebell Hill story.
Mm-hmm. That's
well, you know about this.
A lot of people have said this. A lot of people have had the exactly same story.
Oh.
That one of this little girl that gets in your car and you turn around, she's not there anymore. There's another story.
Supernatural about that as well.
Sorry?
Wasn't there an episode of Supernatural about the Bluebell Hill story?
I've never seen Supernatural. I don't know.
Watch it, it's really good.
Tristan doesn't watch TV. He hasn't even watched Wolf of Wall Street, and I've still asked him to keep watching it.
I will watch it.
I will watch it. That was like one day.
There's another story on the same road where he was driving home, and he suddenly, out of the side of the road, a horse and he says a carriage jumped over the front of his car, and he swears he got out. He was astonished, like, what the hell's that? Got out of his car, and the front of the car there's actually dents, apparently, where something would have jumped over the front of his car. He says it was a horse pulling a carriage.
Mate, that
As a bit more
ghost on that horse and car is riding that thing like a dirt bike. Jumping over cars.
Yeah, apparently a lot of people have had the exact same story. I've seen it on old newspapers and stuff where people have had this same story, going past exactly the same women's prison. So pretty scary.
Well, it's funny because I was actually thinking about that about 2 days ago. I was thinking about that story, which you just told me, that Kieran told me when we were when we were very young. Yeah, it's weird though, because if there was an imprint, I mean, now I was thinking about it again. I was like, well, if there's an imprint, surely that would you can go off that imprint on the roof of the car.
Yeah, It was on the not on the roof, it was on the bonnet, on the front of the car. And he checked it out, and it works out that it was a horse. But how are you going to explain? Oh yeah, a horse and carriage jumped over the front of my car. It's like,
yeah,
sure, of course.
But it's a difficult one to explain.
Yeah. Another thing is, as a builder, he was used to have a digger, and he would do this digging, obviously. And once digging up a site, he found. They always find a lot of like Roman stuff, and this one time he found a ring, and this ring he cleaned it and gave it to my grandma, and my grandma turned sick for a long, long time. Every time she was wearing the ring, she was sick. So one day they decided that it must be the ring, took it off, threw it into a river, and then she was fine. She was absolutely fine after.
So the ring was making. What was she feeling? Just sick.
Wasn't it just
feeling down, sick, maybe, but they say it was that.
Roman ghost of sickness.
Yes. Oh, you got the Roman ghost of sickness.
You've got the Roman ghost of sickness.
Oh my god.
Is he the one who rides around on his horse and carriage like a dirt bike?
Oh, a bastard. But yeah. I don't personally believe in ghosts.
You don't,
but no,
well,
I believe it's just our imagination.
We watch
too many horror films.
Well, I have a story for you, my friend, which I don't think I've ever told you to, or maybe I have. I'm not sure. Maybe because it is a bit traumatizing. Not traumatizing, but a little bit. I don't know. But basically, do you remember Laura, my ex?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so.
Over the top makeup one.
Yeah, let's just not talk about the ex. Let's just talk about the person and the story. Okay. So she had a kind of like a childminder, a babysitter when she was younger, and her name was Claire. And Laura had a really good relation. Like they got on so well. They're like sisters nearly, almost. Like they're so intertwined. Unfortunately, Claire died at the age of 23 in a car accident, not too far from where she lived. And ever since the accident, Laura said she's always felt Claire with her, or just looking after her. And I didn't really take much consideration of it. This was early in the relationship. I was like, okay, fair enough. And one time I noticed that Laura started to like talk in her sleep. So I was just like, oh, this is funny. So I'm just going to pretend and have a like conversation with her in her sleep and see what random shit she comes up with. And it was funny at first. I was just talking crap and she was like talking crap back, and it was like gibberish. And then I can't remember. I wish I could remember exactly, but what happened was I was started to have a conversation with Laura in her sleep properly, and I was like, this is weird. And so I was just like, because I'm quite into the paranormal, so I thought, oh, I might just see what comes out of this. And I asked her. I said, so who am I actually speaking? Like I don't know how it came, but oh, that's it. I was just playing around with Laura, so I was like, oh, how many fingers have I got behind my back?
I'd say something else.
Just
how many fingers have I?
And I said, and she told me the number, and I said, well, who are you? And she said, I'm Claire. And I was like, what?
Very strange.
So Claire was channeling somehow her voice through Laura, and I first I thought this is just Laura messing around me, and she's not really sleeping, or I don't know, maybe she doesn't realize she's doing this. But then she started to tell me some like things about Laura that Laura's never mentioned to me, and she started telling me loads of stuff. And I had like probably like 20-minute conversations with Laura when she was asleep, and Claire was talking through her. But the only reason why I kind of believed it is because she managed to tell me the time in the room, or the number of fingers I was hiding, and it was kind of freaky. But I went with it. And I must admit, I only did this like 1 or 2 times. And the last time I did it,
the rest of the time you was crapping yourself.
Well, no, because I did bring it up to Laura. I said, "Oh, Laura, by the way, this is happening." She said, "I know because Claire's with me and I see her a lot." And I played on with this, and I asked a bit more about Claire, and that's how I just understood who Claire was. And then she would tell me like Claire's with us in the room now, and I took a picture.
You start looking around, just
but no, it's funny because then I took a picture of Laura, and then on the photo there was an orb by her ankle, like a really bright orb, and I was like, "What?"
Is Claire really small then? It's like ankle size.
No, but like if you know anything about ghosts, you see they always come up in like bright lights or orbs. And then I was like, okay, this is weird. And then she said, so we're all in the sitting room. Her dad was watching TV, and her dad fell asleep on the sofa.
At your place, yeah.
At hers, I went over to hers, and Laura would say, "Look, watch this." And then suddenly her dad started like moving, twitching in his sleep, and then started talking. He said, and then Laura said, "That's Claire playing with him, like just like messing around."
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. This isn't even the worst part. I'm gonna get this is when I freaked the shit out.
Give the beef.
So one time, Laura came over to where I was living, where I was working, and she fell asleep. And I decided to do what I usually did. I would talk to Claire. Bear in mind, I've only done this twice before, so this was the third and last. I tell you this why. Because I get curious now. I'm like, okay, well, now I understand that this is Claire. She's an entity, and I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna see how far I can go with this. So I ask her questions like, what's it like being dead or being, you? And she said it feels like there's no time, and I'm just drifting. And that I'm still 23, even though this was like 10 years ago. I don't know how long ago, but she was probably in her 30s by now, if she did age.
Her current state that's just stayed around.
Yeah, so she described the car crash, she described everything. I was like, some things are just, freak me out. And then I pushed it a bit harder. Now, before this, I was very intrigued in like a Ouija board demon called, you know which one I'm going to say. I'm probably not going to say the name because I just don't want to say it. I don't know if I can say it.
Now I'm curious.
Tristan's curious now.
Yeah, I'm curious.
I really don't want to say the name. Okay, but
this will wake up tomorrow.
What's the first letter?
It's a Z. It's a Z. Maybe one of you can say it. It's a Z, and it starts with Z. And just put Z Ouija board demon, and then you'll find it.
Interesting, I'll find it.
So if anyone knows this, it's a quite a prominent demon that comes up on Ouija board games, and it's.
Is this his name? Sorry, should I say it?
Yeah, go on.
The Zozo demon.
That's it.
Yes.
Lewis, you know that one, don't you? Yeah.
Is allegedly summoned through the use of the Ouija board and other forms of spiritual communications.
I continue to proceed and ask Claire, is there evil and good, and what is it like? Is God real? Are angels real? Are demons real? And she responded back almost very diplomatically, sorry, not politically, but she said, there is evil and good, but I can't really tell you more than that. It's something that you need to find out for yourself.
Okay. Information that
and then,
you can't comprehend.
Yeah,
you
basically
see
something I can't comprehend. That's why I'm saying I feel like there's another dimension you can't comprehend it and all this and that.
Yeah.
She basically said, no, yes, it's real, but you won't understand, so I can't tell you. So there's no point. Mm-hmm. So then I proceeded in saying, well, is this particular demon real? And as soon as I mentioned that word, Laura arches her back, and I kid you not, Laura arches her back and does like this, and then starts going, and I'm not even joking, all right? And I'm like proper like gasping for air, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? So I shake Laura, I wake her up and say, what is going on? She said, whatever you do, because she just woke up like that, like nothing, and then she said, and bearing in mind, I did do loads of tests beforehand. I was like, what is this in the room? Just to make sure that it was definitely not Laura speaking. There was no way. It was pitch black. She pointed out the time. She pointed out so I debunked all of the fact that Laura was making this up because her eyes were closed and she was falling asleep. And there's no way Laura actually did this, or I don't know. But
she's listening to this right now, just pissing herself.
Probably because when she woke up, but when she woke up, she said, "Please don't be afraid." Because
talk about it on a podcast.
No, please don't be afraid because they feed off fear and etc. Just put me back to sleep, and Claire would explain. And it was fucking freaky. And then basically Claire just mellowed out and said, "Yeah, I don't know how it ended." But
definitely a stained bit of underwear after that, wasn't it?
But I was shitting myself, and that's like the first time exactly. I've actually experienced something paranormal, like face to face, like experience. And I say paranormal because I know I'm very superstitious naturally, but I debunked pretty much. I tried to debunk everything to the extent that I definitely knew I wasn't speaking of Laura at the time.
Yeah.
So. But then again, that's my story, and if no one wants to believe it, that's fine. But I believe that because I experienced it, and I agree with you. If you don't experience it, you can't really have a say. No. So, and that's why Tristan
as Claire was saying, we have to die to actually find out.
I don't know, but it was fucking creepy. But I understand why Tristan. I think maybe more skeptical people.
It's not being skeptical. I just if I see it, then I've been in situations where it scare me, and I feel like something's there. But it's more just like it's always after having watched a horror film, or it's after talking about
when you hear things. And
but I'm not even.
It's always that.
I don't get scared of horror films. If anything, I find them.
Yeah, but you still watch them though. It's the thing that you don't get scared, but you still just watched it, and you still have that in the back of your mind. It's like. I don't want to say what you're saying is true or anything. I believe what you're saying, but to me, there's always an explanation.
There could be I would love to hear it. Do you know what I would? Because I'm very much open minded, so I'd love to hear the if there was a. I would just love to go through that scenario again and just like debunk it one step by step. Honestly, I'd love to.
That's interesting.
But I don't know if it would ever happen again. But I do believe. I mean, I have some like everyone has that EBGB feeling. Someone's watching me. General. That's just your brain or whatnot, making up things. But. There's some things out there, and you look at all the stories, all the ghost stories out there. There's some things, and the evidence. There's some things that really you can't explain. So
yeah.
But anyway, that was my part.
Was that your part?
Yeah.
Your story.
That was my story, man. So yeah, we've done the three
Alex.
The 3 sections.
Okay, right. How about this one? Right, so around 50% of orangutans have fractured bones due to them falling out of trees because they just fall asleep backwards and they fall out. Now, if you knew this, and you know of a forest, like you was going on safari and you was going on like an orangutan safari tour, and they were all in the trees above you, would you hang around if you have a 50% chance of one of them falling on top of you?
What would you do?
I don't know. Just a giant orange falling out of the tree, flying towards you.
Is that the noise it makes?
God knows what they make.
I mean,
I can just imagine. It's like you make a loud noise, and like, imagine being in the middle of a jungle. You just go like, you clap your hands together. You go, ah! It's like you just see things falling from the trees everywhere.
You see one of them stand up on his back, just like,
They got me again.
fell asleep again on a branch.
I'll get my lawyer on you. Calls up the quietest lawyers.
Oh, I can't even imagine. I can't wait to travel.
As soon as you can,
Yeah,
we'll go do something.
Yeah, something.
that'd be nice. But anyways,
What's
I think.
next travel destination?
What would you do? Where would you go if you could?
Oh,
Right now I would love to go like Asia. I think anywhere in Asia.
Anywhere in Asia.
Yeah.
just first ticket to Asia, please.
Really far.
Well, wait, but you got to have you done some research?
Yeah.
Asia. He told you Asia.
Asia. I got
What, anywhere else in Asia, or just Asia?
I made a bucket list of places I want to go to.
So nowhere. Okay, so more to the east, not to the west.
Hmm.
Do you ever want to go to the States? Because I've never been, and I don't really.
Oh yeah.
I feel like I'm going to leave that to last. Yeah.
Go to the States literally just as a holiday, but if you go to the States, you have to go to Walmart and do a Walmart person watch because you find the weirdest fucking people in the world.
I can imagine.
It's so weird.
back to let's go Japan. We get from Iconic Helper.
Oh, Japan.
But Japan, I think will be a good place to go.
Japan or New Zealand's my top two places to go.
Yeah, New Zealand would be good. Yeah.
I rent a 4x4 out for a couple of weeks. And
It's almost like it's come to this point where we can't travel, and it's like the best time to travel. It's just so annoying.
Yep.
Have you seen that episode of the I was going to say Top Gear, but whatever their new show's called, where they go to Mongolia and they just do off-roading in Mongolia.
Is it Mongolia? I might be thinking of a different one. What was the one I was thinking of? Is it the one where they get the different 4x4s out and
You sure?
Hamilton?
They have bits. They have bits of the cars, and they have to build their own car.
That is Top Gear, isn't it? And it was across the desert, wasn't it? Or no, was it Peru and South America?
No, it's
Oh, it's recent.
No, the recent one was French cars. That's their recent one.
Okay.
The Grand Tour. About. The latest one is for the French cars, which is pretty funny. I suggest you watch that.
I have to watch that one after you told me about it the other day.
It's just so true.
Just keep bumping into each other.
Everyone just like cars. Like you go to England and they have a car for specific needs. You have your family car, you have your leisure car, you have your car for doing off-roading. Whereas in France, they have the one car, and that one car does everything.
But that's the beauty of it. I mean, a lot of people hate French cars, me included. But at the end of the day, they do the job.
They do the job.
They go anywhere.
They look horrible. But they do the job.
It's like
and
everything just falls off. They're horrible, but they're brilliant because they go anywhere you want them to.
Yeah, not very quickly.
Not very quickly, yeah. You've got to leave a couple of hours in advance. That's even.
But your car's really well, Lewis. Your car is your car still running?
Somehow. My car's still running. Right, funny story. Right, you know the old wing mirror story that I lost my wing mirror.
Yeah,
Alex.
Well,
so
yeah.
Yeah. So I haven't got wing mirror. I've got one wing mirror on my car. I went for an MOT the other week, a month ago actually, and the guy turned around and said, "Yeah, your car's absolutely fine, but I can't pass it because you don't have a wing mirror. I've got till the end of this month to get a wing mirror for my car, or it's not roadworthy anymore." I said, "I'm just going to put like one of those pinwheels as I'm driving down the road. It's just spinning around and you can see colours and whatnot." But the thing is, where my car is that old, and it's not a rare car, but you don't see a lot of them. There's no pieces anywhere for them, so I've got to change car. I've got no windows that work.
What?
I've got a wing mirror. All the mechanisms. There's couple of things that my car has been known for not being good for. It's the mechanisms and the windows break very easily.
Lewis, I already know what we're going to do with your car. We're going to do a rally. We're going to do a rally.
We're
We're going to do a rally. Mate, we'll rip everything out of your car, strip it down, get rid of the roof. Who needs that? And then we'll go somewhere in Spain and rally.
We'll do a rally. Your car versus my 106.
Oh, I'm fine doing that.
But yeah, we could even paint.
Put the foot down to win.
Oh yeah, I know, but it'd be funny.
We could even paint it and make. We could do something cool if once it's on its last leg. I mean.
Yeah, I've got till the end of this month to find it, but I can't find it. My brother's a mechanic, and he can't find one. They don't exist. I've either got to find one that's in a breaker's yard or something before they crush it and get it off there. But because there are not many of them, some people collect the cars and they don't want to get rid of pieces. There's no pieces available for it. So we might be crash derbying my car then once time. Or we can do
get free shit cars and then crash them. That'd be
hilarious.
Yeah.
OBW.
Well, yeah, but that's something I'll do when I'm like proper like midlife crisis kind of. That's pretty much what Top Gear is, or what a Top Gear was.
Midlife crisis.
It was
It's televised though.
What a great time to have a midlife crisis. Oh, gee.
Yeah.
But it's good that
has anyone else?
Sorry, yeah.
So go ahead. Have you got something else to say?
No.
Because I was going to say, has anyone else got another story to tell?
Nah, we'd covered the stories. Now it's just shit chat.
Because it's been an hour already.
Yeah, we can stop. As I said, this is our first recording. We don't know what to do. Help us.
There is one thing I want to say. Is for TB.
Yeah.
Is that you realise it's only been a year now that TB's been a thing.
Yeah.
Mm. And it's pretty crazy how much TB has grown in that 1 year. Like, I remember when we first started out, there was obviously just a couple of us. In 1 year, we've now grown to over 30 members. But constant 30
members. It's a good call
on the Discord.
In total, there's over 100, which is quite cool. But yeah, constant 30 people.
Like, it becomes such a I was talking with Grongus the other day, and he was saying how it's become such a great community for people to, especially in these times where you know, COVID and stuff.
Not everyone's going outside. People have been at home more often, and that. Yeah,
and there is a place for people to come to either just game or have a chat. You know, Friday nights it's always a laugh. You know,
Friday nights is always a good one.
It's true.
I'm very, very proud of how far T Baggins has come, and now we're setting up streamers and podcasts and YouTube channel, and you know we're going to start actually doing something with it. So I'm pretty proud with how far it's gone.
And try and get some of the other TB members into the podcast as well every now and then.
Yeah, we'll try and get one person in there, just because we don't want it to be too crowded. But I think 4 will be good. We'll try and get one in.
Just have one guest now and again.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
There's one thing I did want to say is that for the jingle, for example, at the beginning, I thought it'd be quite a good idea. Instead of having our set jingle, if we could have people, if they want to, send in their jingles. You know. If they're creative, and if
I'll send you a photo of my jingles.
Okay. Anytime. Send in just 20 seconds. 20 seconds is a good time, a good amount of time. Just send it in, and we'll play at the beginning of the podcast, and we will judge you.
Severely.
Very heavily.
But I completely messed up.
If it's shit, I am going to tell you it's shit.
I completely messed up the intro. Our intro, I completely messed up. I realized
really?
I played it from like 10 seconds in, so it was like, you guys were still listening to it, and it was still playing. But we'll get it right next time. Well, we'll try and improve. These will get better and better the more we do them, so please bear with.
I will send it to you though, so when you edit it for the
for the final cut, yeah. It'll be good. We'll get that right. But this live, look at him. This live. Sorry, I said look at him. I was looking at Campers emojis. Is like this. But we'll get there.
Yeah, I feel like this is a good time. It's been an hour already, so it's a good time. This was like last thing to say. I think we could close it off.
No, that's it. I just want to say one thing on TB. Let's keep it going, and let's have a good 2022.
Let's have some fun.
Yeah, just join us. Join our Discord. It's in the. If you are randomly watching this, thank you. And There's a link in the Discord. There's a link under the video with the Discord link. Please join, and we do many different games. We tend to pick a new game every week to play together, and we're very inclusive. So please join. That's it. That's all I've got to say, anyways.
There should be a website up soon.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully either tomorrow or by next week we should have a website up. It is finished. Just need to find a domain name. So that'd be good.
Cool.
Website, Discord, YouTube, links to everything.
Anything you want to say, Lewis?
Thank you for tuning in. I hope you had a good first time with us. And we'll talk to you soon.
Bye.